it's good to be back, man. It feels like it's been forever.
Yes.
What's it been like 2 weeks? 2 weeks?
What movies, man? I know we talking about the Kingsman. We do Batman last because me and you gonna have a little fight about
Yeah,
that.
oh god, yeah, we're going to. Texas Chainsaw, Kingsman, and obviously the Batman. We'll start with Texas Chainsaw. Okay, so this movie was going back and forth for a while. I don't know how many times they've said like this is the real sequel to the original.
Yeah.
And then like that one comes out and it sucks and they're like no, this one's going to be the real, kind of like what Terminator goes through. This is the real sequel. Anyway, it finally came out on Netflix, and how can I put it? It was bad, but it wasn't like so bad like I'll never watch it again. Do you remember we were talking about like we're not looking for Oscar-worthy performances?
Yeah.
It's a horror movie. That's what I got. It was pretty much kill, old man Leatherface. And there was a lot of people doing stupid shit and a lot of stupid things going on in this movie, man. Like it was so like, okay, for instance, the director felt the need to make fun of millennials, like SJWs, and then here comes the boomer Leatherface, like
Can't you, bitch.
yeah, oh dude, oh man. But those two generations were pretty much on screen and they were fighting each other like this. The millennials were doing this, and then I guess then Leatherface is like, no, you're not coming to my town, you're not buying up everything, I'm gonna kill you. Well, to make a long story short, things go downhill very fast and he starts going back to his old ways, gets his chainsaw out, starts murdering everyone. And then for whatever reason, the director decided to bring back the survivor from the first one, Sally, who's played by another woman because the original died a little while ago. And man, let me tell you how stupid her character was. So now she went from a girl who was part of a group picking up hitchhikers and then survived the farm to I want to say a former Texas Ranger, and her first scene is her like gutting a pig. So right there, you got to be like, okay, now she's badass now. Okay. She gets the call that Leatherface is back, who she's apparently been looking for a while. Not a good job doing that. Shows up, gets in his house. Leatherface is sitting right there at the vanity. And she says something along the lines with a shotgun pointed to his head. Do you know who I am? I survived. And I'm here to make sure you don't. And he gets up, he turns, looks at her, and just tilts his head, grabs his chainsaw, and walks right by her. And she's like,
the shooting?
Hold on. And she goes, you don't remember me. You don't remember me. And she just lets him walk right by him. I'm like, bitch, you literally had a shotgun on you. You could have ended this whole fucking movie. Well, needless to say, she gets out in the street and he kills her. He puts the chainsaw right through her stomach, lifts her up, and yet she's still alive. So her character dies, and then Leatherface goes on a bus. I'm actually a little out of order. He went on the bus first. Yeah, he went on the bus first. But anyway, he goes on the bus, and all these millennials have their phones out doing a live stream. I want to say to like either Facebook or Instagram. Said, try anything, bro, and you'll get canceled. Well, ignites his little pulls his chainsaw, starts it up, just cuts everyone. That was probably the best scene in the movie, and I've yet to see anybody complain about that because they had nowhere to go. He's literally cutting them as they were backing up into a corner.
Damn.
Yeah, and then the ending, which I found fucking hilarious, was the two sisters leaving in an automatic driving car, auto drive car, and it's driving 5 miles an hour. And they're like, oh, you know what? I think I'll move to Texas with you. Well, guess what? Here comes Leatherface. He fucking punches out the window, grabs the older sister, and then cuts her head off and starts dancing with it. And then her younger sister's like on the roof as the car's going 5 miles an hour going, no. No.
I'm glad I didn't watch it then.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
But then the credits hit, and then it's got like this like really good synthwave 80s style movie kind of theme to it. And man, I'm not gonna lie, I got it on my YouTube playlist. I've been jamming to it. So yeah, Texas Chainsaw. Man,
so how many bumps did you give that, man?
it gave me, dude, it gave me a chode. Like out of the nerd boner, it gave me a chode. Like it didn't really do anything, but it didn't. That bus scene actually saved it from me having no erection whatsoever from watching this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd give that a chode. Definitely 100%. And yeah, if you want to watch it, see for yourself.
No, we kept putting it off too. Like we were gonna watch it one night, and then Vicky said that she never heard of it. I mean, she's heard of it, but she's never watched. It never really interested her. So I was like, let's watch it, and we were like, nah, never mind, fuck it.
You should probably still watch it though. You know, you might like it.
I might. What's it? You know what? Yeah, I see what you did right there. You fucking dick.
You might like it.
No, I doubt it. I really haven't been a fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. But
all right. So next, the Kingsman, which you and I both were talking about after we watched that. That was really, really good.
I was impressed.
And we were also talking about how like the first two were like violent and had some comedy behind it. This one seemed more like a serious period piece.
Yeah.
Minus Rasputin, who was probably like the comedic relief because he was just so like awkward.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, that scene where he's licking that dude's leg wound was super fucking like awkward, dude. He was like, it's like, oh God, man.
How much they had to pay him to do that?
But I was really shocked that one twist in that film, in the Kingsman, I should say, not Kingsman, Kingsman. They show a lot of his son, you know, joining up, wanting to serve his country.
Oh goodness.
And he runs behind enemy lines to go get something that's, you know, integral to the war effort. Some kind of German intelligence, I believe, that their agent had, and he was hurt behind enemy lines. He goes to grab him, and he dodges all that fucking gunfire, brings the guy back. Come to find out that the guy didn't make it, which sucked. But, you know, he got the thing back. And then all of a sudden, one of his buddies was like, no, you're not who you say you are, because he apparently switched places with another guy. And then that guy fucking shot him. In the goddamn head. In the fucking head, man. And I remember on my couch, I was like, because the way the movie, the way the movie made it seem like was that this guy was going to be like the hero of the film. And then maybe like his dad might have died and he would take up the mantle. No, the son dies. And then the dad goes, you know what? I can't keep living my life like this. I'm going to be a warrior again. And I was like, all right, cool, man. Yeah, man. The supporting cast was great. I'm actually in the mood to watch. I might watch it again later today.
It wasn't far-fetched either. It wasn't stuff that wouldn't legit happen if you were doing certain things.
Yeah, no, I agree. You're absolutely right. And not only that, just like some of the shots, running across the battlefields, people getting shot, you know, old time London.
Yeah.
Like a lot of that was filmed very well for a movie about, you know, a secret agent society starting up, or a secret agency starting up. But that ended, man. How do you think they're going to do that sequel to it?
I don't know. I mean, they could literally go anywhere because the Kingsman is probably going to have to deal with a bunch of people anyway. You can literally do anybody in history with the Kingsman. I mean,
but do you remember who showed up? You remember who showed up at the end?
I am a German Nazi. Adolf Hitler.
Adolf Hitler fucking showed up.
Dude, I'm like, oh my goodness, they really did that.
I thought at first it was Stalin. because
Yeah.
Lennon,
Yes.
like it was Lennon. Lennon introduced. He was talking to somebody. I forgot who it was, and he was like, "Okay," I was like, "Okay, that's a young Joseph Stalin." And then he goes, "No, my name is Adolf Hitler." And I was like, "There's no way they're gonna be able to make a sequel to this, and
Yeah,
people not
I
get
was a
pissed."
little hesitant about that too. I don't know, especially with everything being canceled right now. You do any little thing,
Oh,
done.
100%.
Especially in
100%.
the movie industry. Like somebody like us, we may get a strike or something, but we're not going to get like canceled where we can never do anything again unless it pops up, you know, in whatever you're doing or whatever.
No, I know, I agree, and I'm hoping that they ignore that because I do appreciate film production companies that go, you know what, we got a small minority of people who are offended, but fuck it, let's make it. And I feel like the guy Matthew Vaughn, who made the first Kick-Ass, who made X-Men First Class, like he has like this eye for great action with comedy,
Yeah,
and a lot of dark humor, and I feel like that would be the guy to be like, you know what, we made two of them in a prequel. Let's make a sequel to the prequel. Let's lead up to it. And they got a good universe going in
yeah.
that film franchise. I'm actually interested in them continuing it.
Now, do you think
Yeah,
if they would have made the prequel for the second one, do you think it would have been as popular, or you think we kind of had a chance to die down because of the second one being so bad?
I think, man, see, I don't really remember much of the second one, so it couldn't have
Wasn't
been
that
memorable. But yeah, I know they had like the U.S. the statesman, which this president Woodrow Wilson in the movie kept referring to. Give me a statement on the rocks, which I'm pretty sure that was code for give me an agent because they
Mhm.
had their own thing going. But as far as your question, you said if they didn't make the second one, they made the prequel before the second one.
They made the prequel, then went back and made the second one.
Yeah,
First one.
I feel like yeah, maybe because when did the second one come out? 2013, 2014?
Something
Has
like
it been
that.
has it been a little bit?
It's been a while.
So yeah, I feel like when you go back to a franchise like that, people go, huh?
Yeah.
You know, been maybe almost a decade. What's this about? I forgot this. You guys left that dormant for a while. We don't really care about it no more.
Yeah.
But everybody's still talking about it, so go for it.
I didn't
But
hear
yeah,
anything.
that's what I got on Kingsman, man. Go see it. I enjoyed it. It's a good way to kill a weekend like evening.
Yeah.
Get some pizza, get a beer, no rum. You'll get a hangover. Don't do that.
All right, guys. Y'all know what time it is. It's the time that everybody has been waiting for, the reviews of The Batman. And I think, if it's okay, sir, can I say something real quick? Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Wow, just like that movie I
Oh,
watched yesterday or 2 days ago.
come on, man. The Batman. First off, Thursday alone, it made 21.6 million off of pre-screenings. And they said it might possibly make over 120 million just by the end of this weekend alone.
I'm so glad that box office numbers actually equate to a quality of a film. I'm so
Okay, so guys, let me let you know how this went. Okay, I saw it Thursday night. Me and my wife enjoyed it. Didn't fall asleep. Loved it. Friday, this guy says, "Hey, let's go see it." I said, "Okay, I loved it. It was great." Get to the movie theater. This guy's like, "Oh, dude, it's so exciting." Watch in the movie theater. No more than 10 to 15 minutes into the movie, this guy's like, "You gotta be kidding me." Why? I wanted to slap him. I wanted to slap him a couple times. This movie
yeah,
was fucking amazing. And I fall asleep on
it's
every movie. I didn't fall asleep. That's twice.
I'm sorry, pal. I gotta disagree with you. Look, listen, I know all my friends give me shit because my favorite Batman film is BBS, which technically isn't really a Batman film. It's technically a Superman sequel with Batman in it. Anyway, I went in there with an open mind. I was like, yes, I did. Yes, I did. You
All you
showed up
were
to the
thinking about is
no,
Twilight, motherfucker.
no, I wasn't. No, because
Pale
I've seen a lot of his movies that
and they're
he's been
good.
in.
Not all
Yes.
of them.
Yes, that they but like The Lighthouse. He made a movie with David Cronenberg. That's kind of like a Bruce Wayne-ish. He was like a rich type guy. That was pretty good. I forgot what it's called. It's
Is that
on the
Dig?
tip of my tongue. No, it's called like something Acropolis or something like I can't
Oh
remember.
yeah, but whatever it was. But yeah, I know what
But
you're
you know
talking
what I'm talking about. Like
about.
I enjoyed that. Like he's come a long way since Twilight, so I'm not going to judge this guy by based on Twilight. Um, so I mean, you showed up. I said, look, man, I'm actually really excited to see this movie. And I wouldn't have like texted you saying, hey, let's go see this if I wasn't excited. I was like, now's the time. It's out. Let's go see this. So go in there. The movie starts, and he's got this narration, which is very badass. Gotham City is so big. I can't be everywhere.
Yeah, just to let
But
you guys know, we're not going to give you any spoilers. We're just going to kind of give our premise on it.
yeah.
Especially
And
the same weekend.
right. And he goes, I can't be anywhere, but it's the fear. Maybe I'm in the shadows, something along those lines. Maybe I'm in the shadow. Maybe I'm on the roof. They don't know where I'm at. I'm generalizing, but it's similar to what he said.
That kind of reminded me of a bit of a Ben Affleck type narrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did. It really did. And like that right there, I was like, oh, I remember I was nodding. I was like, okay,
yeah,
this is definitely Batman right now. Then he shows up in the subway. That happened, and I was like, okay, all right, man, we're off to a great start. And then afterwards, I don't know what happened. And it's like that was the scene pre-COVID that they filmed, obviously, because it was in the DC fandom teaser. And it's like, man, I don't know what the fuck went. Like he went from intimidating at first to just this guy that's just slow walk, and the top of it, before I get into that, the movies,
that suspense though. It gives it what is he about to do? Where is
okay,
he coming from?
I see I'm all over the place with this. So the movie, I have to stress, this movie stresses his detective work.
Yes.
Instead of that fanatical kind of action-packed, grapple hook this and rescue this out of a fire, build its own fire. Like there's like some minor stuff like that, but this is predominantly a detective story.
Yeah.
Him utilizing, looking for a serial killer.
Real quick before you keep going, keep your thought. One thing I did like about the riddles that they did in this movie, the whole detective wife, it wasn't too hard. It was normal enough for somebody who's watching it to kind of be like, oh, I can figure this out. But
I couldn't.
Keep going.
I couldn't, but I'm a little dumb when it comes to riddles. So like kudos to them, because I thought they were a lot better than the ones in Batman Forever. But yeah, so it's year 2 Batman, and we jump right into it. And the one thing that was missing is an origin scene. I stress this to you a lot.
I know.
Anytime there is a new Batman cast, you need to have an origin story, because there's only been one Batman in the live action films that have been out that's a continuation in the same universe, and that was George Clooney taking over for Val Kilmer. So you did not need that origin story. He was playing the same exact Batman, just different guy. This is not Snyderverse. It's not the Nolanverse. This is a whole new thing. So we got this year 2 guy who's very emo, very upset, depressed. He's obviously scarred, but as the viewer, I'm like, I can't. Why? Why are you scarred? Yes, I know your parents died, but I need to see how that affected you as a child. And then like jump back in the year 2. Like that's just my opinion.
And
like,
they kind of did elaborate on that. Because of his parents dying like that, he never had peace to actually find out who it was for a long period of time.
I know, but you need to show, and I know people are tired of seeing his origin, but people seem to forget that That's fine, but his parents being shot are what makes him who he is. So anytime there's a new universe and he literally has to get in that suit, he has to think about his parents' deaths, I should say. When he goes out in the street and he beats up thugs and he saves the city, he needs to constantly keep that in his head. Like, this is why I'm doing it. That's why they say he broods, because he's constantly reminding himself that
But they
way he
did that.
doesn't think.
They
I
did
know
that
that.
in the movie.
I know that, but what I'm saying is, I didn't, as the viewer, I did not see that. I can't relate to his pain. Yes, I know his parents are dead, but I don't know how much his parents mattered to him for this new Batman.
I mean, a lot. I mean, it's kind of subliminal message the way they did it. I mean,
Well,
you know that
you gotta
his
show it. You
anger
gotta show it. You gotta show it.
is for it. I mean, they got to show one or the other. They had to give a premise as to why the villain was. I won't give anything away. Why the villain was doing what he was doing, but also, I mean, you can't do both stories in a movie like that. You would have to do.
You can literally show like a 5-10 minute clip of his parents walking out, and then like boom, have it because
That's
it's
all
a
you
nightmare.
wanted.
No, listen, you're not listening to
I
me.
am listening
No,
to you,
you're not. What
motherfucker.
I'm saying is that you can do a 5 to 10 minute clip of him having a nightmare about their deaths, waking up, and then boom, he's back at it. And that way the viewer is reminded this is why he's doing what he's doing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to do what Christopher Nolan did and do it for an hour leading up to it. That's it. I can't, if you got a new Batman, you got to relate to his pain. Otherwise, he's just going to come off as some bratty kid, which I thought he came off as a bratty kid.
Well,
Alfred, you're not my father. You're not my father, Alfred. Like, like, fuck you, pal.
well, think of it like this. They did this movie, I can agree, in where he was a spoiled, I guess I wouldn't say spoiled, but he was a loner, like you said, emo, but also
He wasn't funding doing the charities.
yeah.
Wayne Enterprise.
Well,
he wasn't running the board or
if you
anything.
think about it now, like you were saying, like origin stories, now he has a reason to help build the city back up, whether if it's being Bruce Wayne or continuously fighting crime. Personally, I think in this sequel, I mean, they kind of wanted to set up what was going to happen. We always know in every Batman movie, he has some type of flashback of his parents or some event that happened. I feel like in the second one, they may do that. They may kind of have his mind still fucked up, but he knows I got to play this playboy woman hitter, not woman hitter, but you know what I mean, like basically the rich guy who is above everybody because he has the most money. Because technically right now he'll be the biggest minus the villain at the end of the movie.
Right. All right. Well, that's fine and all that, but still, his the way him and Alfred communicated in the movie, where he was just like real pissy with him. I just did not relate to any of that. Like,
you think they were trying
especially
to do with the like adolescent type kid that didn't want to? I don't know.
Yeah, see, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I really think this director just slapped on great cinematography, and everybody's calling it a masterpiece because it looked good. But if you go back in the nit and gritty of the film, it's not well written at all. It's really not. It's a fucking bloated movie. People got on BBS and all those other movies for being 3 hours too long. This movie's 3 hours long, and everybody's calling it fucking Oscar worthy, and I'm just so confused.
Great, dude, come on. The acting in this movie, whether it's Robert Pattinson as Twilight or Edward, whoever, as putting on the suit, when he had on the suit, me personally, I observe the way they walk, the way they look, the way their emotions are. Mine was more
doing that
off of his face. So that's what got me. Like when the movie started, when they first showed the villain the first time, you can't tell me you were like, oh, what the fuck?
I did. I said, oh shit. I didn't say anything about the Riddler. I'm not getting on anything about the Riddler. The supporting cast was great. I just feel like Robert Pattinson was just, to me, I did not feel his Batman's pain, his suffering to do what he does. I felt more for the villains, with their mission with their goals in the movie. I felt like Riddler, like what was it, when you found out what the Riddler really was, I felt sorry for him.
Yeah, I did.
Because they took the time to explain some of his origin stuff.
But that was one thing I did like. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was gonna say, like, but they couldn't like do something for Robert Pattinson, like a quick scene or like a nightmare or something. Because I felt like, but I'm gonna try not to keep it non spoilers, but with Riddler's background, granted I didn't agree with his methods, they were kind of cut from the same cloth, pretty much grew up with no parents. One had a different way of doing things, the other one had another way of doing things, but this other guy, his background was explained more than this guy.
I think in this movie they focused on the villain's background. That was kind of the origin story of the villain in this movie. They, like you said, they kind of did the whole basis thing with Bruce. Like I think me and you had this conversation. I don't like the fact that they always focus on Thomas Wayne, and I understand they do because that's the whole premise. That's how he got his money. That's how he became Batman. That's how he got his toys. But I'm sorry. I agree with you that I'm all for them doing some type of just flashback of them. But I don't need to see every movie where it's focused on, oh, my dad did this, my dad did that, my dad did this. We know. Like you said with BVS, they did a little flashback. You didn't see it again. You may have saw it later on in like him sleeping or whatnot, but that's all they left it at. And I will agree with you on that. They just do a flashback and you can spend the rest of the movie doing what you want.
And that whole point, that whole movie, I mean, I don't want to stay on it, but that little clip, that intro to the film showed the whole overall theme to his Batman, loss. And that's where he is now. And then you see that Robin suit, like he's constantly experienced loss, and at an old age he's gotten tired of it. He's gotten like, so I'll just, anybody crosses my path that doesn't mean well, I'm going to kill them.
Well, that goes along your line though, upon with your point. He's still young. He hasn't been Batman long. He hasn't really established himself as being he said what he was trying to do, but I don't know.
But no, that's fine. I get it. I'm not complaining about, Batman being year one, year two, making mistakes. That's not my argument. My argument is, okay, how does he know how to fight? Did he train with like a secret society? Did this one train with the League of Shadows, Ra's al Ghul?
Batman Begins.
What?
That means that you would have to do it like a Batman Begins. You'd have
but I'm saying, like, I have, you're telling me this guy's already established, but his background's not. You're showing his signal in the sky, but there's multiple scenes in this movie where people are not intimidated by him, but yet his Batman's narrating to me, the viewer, that people are terrified of him, that he creates a sense of fear. Yeah. But throughout the movie, I mean, he gets his, well, I shouldn't say he gets his ass kicked. Batman gets his ass kicked when he starts off, but like, he didn't come across what he narrated to me as the viewer. Like, I remember when I told you this, like, if I saw him down an alley and I go, hey, who are you? And he goes, I'm Vengeance. And I go, hi, Vengeance. Have a good day. And walk right past him. Like, even Bale, I wasn't a big fan of Christian Bale's Batman, but he would kind of intimidate me a little bit if I saw him in an alley. That's the whole point. You got to do the alley scenario.
Intimidating though. In Batman Begins, I thought of him as like a fun Batman. I didn't really think of him as being scary. I don't know if it was the way the outfit was. I don't know if it's just because you see the movie that Christian Bale's played in, but I wasn't digging him as being a scary one. Now, Ben Affleck's, I thought, was the more serious, like mid-age tough guy. Like he'd fuck you up if need be. But I didn't feel that from Bale.
I'm still remembering that warehouse scene where he snapped that guy's arm and his elbow popped into the inside. Oh fuck, dude. Snapped that guy's arm. But yeah, but Bale's Batman trained with Ra's al Ghul, came back and literally assembled. I'm gonna run the company. It's mine. And that was when he was starting out. He was like trying to get gadgets and shit. This
Yeah.
Batman is like every time, like the couple times that Alfred came up to him, he's like, hey, blah, blah, blah's here for breakfast to talk about this from Wayne Enterprises. And he goes, I don't want to do it. I'm like, I don't want to do it, Alfred. And on top, when he took off his shirt too, man, I laughed. And I was like, it's like,
I
yo,
did,
that's, you know, I mean, he's obviously more in shape than I am, but just like, that's the body of a vigilante. Like that's that.
What the
Okay.
vigilante's body supposed to look like?
I would have thought,
and all that stuff.
I would have thought beefier, man.
Well, they said during the making he had a hard time bulking up too.
Bro, if a 44-year-old Ben Affleck can put on a bunch of muscle, he can too. He probably just didn't want to.
Yeah, probably because of the regimen. You got to eat a lot.
I was literally looking at his work ethic, and apparently when it comes time to bulking up for muscle, he always defers, and then he'll have his co-stars do it. Like there was a scene where he had to bulk up, and apparently they needed him to bulk up a little bit in Twilight.
Yeah,
but he wouldn't. He wouldn't do it. But then his co-star Kristen Stewart was like, "I'll lose weight." Like, what the fuck? Like, so she had to offset her weight to make it look compatible with him on screen. It's something I read, man. I don't know if it's true or not. But then again, maybe he's one of those dudes that like those guys come to him. He's like, I'm not putting steroids in my body. It's either we do this naturally or we don't, which that's also another possibility. So I probably shouldn't be giving him shit.
Dude, I will. All in all, I'll say, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good way to kind of jump Robert Pattinson's career up a little bit, because honestly, whether people liked it or not, I mean, right now this did do a boost for his career, only because like most of the reviews I see on it have been good. I don't think I've seen any bad. I know you said you saw a couple that were bad. What were some of the thoughts that people were giving on there as far as bad wise? Because I didn't really get to see.
There was how the Lieutenant Gordon was more of an idiot cop. Like, you know, like this guy is supposed to be the commissioner, but I mean, he had some scenes where he was pretty cool. Like he showed up at, oh, damn, it's a non-spoiler review. I can't really, but he showed up and he returned fire on a certain suspect.
Yeah.
But it felt like every time there was an investigation, Batman would show up and then he would just be like, okay, what else? What else? Yeah. Are you saying they're connected? I felt like he played a really dumb kind of Gordon. Whereas in Gary Oldman, in my opinion, is probably my favorite.
I'll agree with that.
He literally was friends with Batman, but you know, he had a take charge kind of attitude.
Yeah.
I felt like this Gordon was more like are you sure? Or we can do that? All right, yeah, we can. All right, we can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, there was that, and then there was also somebody did say what we talked about, where towards the end, where blah 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 walks away, and then blah 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 walks slowly to his motorcycle with his theme playing. Like it's like a 5-6 second scene of him like slow walking like this to his motorcycle, and I was like, that's why I was laughing. I actually laughed.
I heard you laugh. You're making me laugh. I'm glad I had already watched it before I saw it with you. I would have been so fucking mad. I would have been so fucking mad.
And on top of it, oh yeah. So on top of it, every time he would show up when the police were investigating, you know, they just had to play his theme to tell the viewer he's here. It's like, we get it. You're gonna keep though. You're gonna it is no it is, but you can't tell me that you telling me he's here by his theme song and him doing a slow walk, but yet you won't give me like a 5-minute like scene of his past, like something. Like, come on, man. And like after this
the fucking past shit, what the fuck,
you know, I need something, man. You know, throw me a fucking bone here.
Dude, I see them trying to do that in the second one. I see them skipping a couple years too.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about the sequel? They asked, he said, I really want to take on the Court of Owls. And I remember going, Pattinson, you ain't ready for that yet. You ain't fucking ready for that. Don't know. Look, man, you need to bulk up and get more intimidating before you take on them fuckers.
So
Because
girls might really like that, and that's another reason why this movie was probably popular, because female.
The women, man, the women love them.
They flock to that. Oh my goodness, I get to see his back.
Man, I don't know. Maybe I need to see it enough. Maybe you know what? Maybe I'll watch it again when it comes out on HBO Max. But I'm pretty sure, man, what I saw was, I'm like 99% sure what I saw was my definitive opinion on it. I'm not saying I hope it fails. And another thing too is I hate when you give your opinion, people go, "Oh man, well you don't really have a good choice in movies." It's like, well, I'm not. Everybody on Facebook tell me that. Everybody, really? I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, everybody's like, what the fuck. But
I'm not gonna go into it. I promised myself I wouldn't go into it.
But listen, I'm not the kind of guy that goes, "Don't go see it." I just said it was a bore fest. But then like everyone else is like, "Oh man, that means really that sucks." I'm like, well, still go see it. Form your own opinion on the matter.
Well, that's something a lot of
you might like it.
Have now. They'll go by people's opinion and they'll be like, "Oh fuck it, I don't want to see it," or they'll be like, "Yeah, I want to." They'll be like, "I don't want to see it," but just go see it. Like you know what? I'm literally talking back to myself, hypocrite. Freaking talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, try it. I'm hearing the review.
Yeah, go see it. I'll watch. Go see it. And look, I'm telling you, I'm just gonna let you know, even though I didn't like it, go see it anyway. You know, the thing.
Movie, all right, well, tell me, is there any movie that you ever watched in your life that you had to turn off because it was just really, really bad?
Fuck. Man, I can't. I can't recall. No, there was a movie. The girl I was dating at the time, we saw this movie. I think it was called. Was it Along Came Polly? It was some Ben Stiller.
Oh yeah,
Ben Stiller movie, and he was like fake married to this blonde girl.
Yeah.
And I looked, like, we were like fucking 30 minutes in. I looked over at her. I was like, "This movie sucks. You want to leave?" She goes, "Yeah." We fucking left that theater. Got our money back too. Like, dude, this movie sucks. It's not funny. We're not laughing. But no, other than that, like, I never really like saw a movie where I had to turn off. Like, even if the Batman, like if I saw it on HBO Max first, I wouldn't have turned it off. I would have finished it, because you can't really give your opinion. Sometimes the first act sucks and the second act is so much better.
Yeah.
You know, so people really miss out on some stuff out there because the first act sucks.
Well, I mean, you're optimistic that the second one might be better. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm actually looking forward to it, even though I didn't like the first one, because maybe, there's sometimes when you go and the sequel does more, establishes more, and then you can like literally go back and look at the other one with better sight, like a better understanding. So then I could be like, "Oh my god, man! Now this movie is definitely a masterpiece because the sequel fucking explained this." If they, All
right. So how many? What is it called again? Bumps. How many would you?
No, dude. We're gonna cut it because you can't remember it.
I never remember.
It's literally an any chode and fucking full hard on, pal. That's it. Never mind. I'm gonna say for now on, new rating.
I'm keeping
no more nerd boner. I would give this movie. I'd give it a 5 out of 10, and that's because the casting has saved it.
Okay.
I'd give it a 5. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman was great.
Oh hell yeah!
Colin Farrell as Penguin was fucking amazing. I'm gonna give Paul Dano credit for making a terrifying villain, but the rest and the cinematography was great.
Mm-hmm.
But when your main character, who's the sole focus of a movie, isn't intimidating, that brings it down. His acting in the movie I thought was bad, and I really thought that all it was like literally close-up shots, like that with his cowl on, man. It's nah.
Damn it. All right. Well, I gave it originally. I gave it a 10 out of 10. And then when I saw it the second time, I saw some discrepancies that I noticed personally for myself, but I give it my final 8 out of 10, just because it kind of gave me what I wanted. It gave me a psycho villain. It gave me the whole mafia or mob type thing in the movie, and it also gave me a detective
AIDS.
movie. Fuck you.
That movie gave you AIDS.
It gave me a detective movie, and that's what I've been wanting from a Batman movie for a while. And I've liked some of the cartoon ones, like the detective shit. That's the way I've always been. Like, I may like the action and stuff, but for this, it was a decent amount of action. But for anybody that does see it, all the action is in the trailer. Literally.
Yeah, that's true. And it seems like we can't get like a combination of both.
Yes.
It's either like a little bit detective stuff, or it's been like that for years. Very little detective work and a lot of like fighting, action, and all that. Like, if this one was, I would say this one was probably about 95% detective work and 5% action. I mean, he did that guy he beat up in the beginning. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty good. But we saw that in the trailer.
Yeah. So we already knew what to expect.
What'd he do? He snapped his arm and he just kept fucking pummeling him.
Yeah.
I mean, he slapped him with his fist. I didn't think that was possible. He was like, and then you heard the like he smashed his face in.
Yeah, dude.
But then he talked. He's like, "I'm vengeance." But you know what? I am keeping this, by the way. We got a little souvenir cup.
Yes, where's mine at?
Oh, look, it's blurred out.
I think it's him. There it is. Hell yeah,
it's a cool cup.
Home too. I bought a shirt. I'm gonna wear that tomorrow.
There you go. Yeah, man, support it.
I liked it, man. I like, and you know this. This is the first movie, a 3-hour movie, 2 days in a row where I did not fucking fall asleep.
That's true.
I really didn't.
It's true, and I'm proud of you for doing that. I just wish that we could get a movie where you don't do that I also enjoy as well.
I know.
That'd be nice.
You won't be up on a certain other movie, but I'm not even gonna go with all that. Like, dude, really? It's good.
Dude, I'll never forget. We were watching Invincible for the first time at our buddy's house, and it was getting really good, and I just hear.
Like, Stan, wake the fuck up.
Wake the fuck up, man. Sorry, man. I've been working late. Like, what the fuck, man? Why you want to watch this then?
I just want to see our buddy's reaction.
But yeah, I think I might go back out and maybe see it. Because I don't want to be mad at a DC movie, especially a DC movie. I'm a huge DC. That's why, like, me saying that, like, I'm not being vindictive because they canceled Snyder's films. Technically, they didn't. They're still making them on the side. So it's like, well, they're making the Flash.
Yeah, Flashpoint.
Suicide Squad's part of DCEU. So is Peacemaker and all that stuff. But I really don't want to be. I don't like hating on Batman. Like, I haven't like physically been disgusted by Batman since Batman and Robin. I'm not like physically disgusted by this. It's just that, it's kind of odd that you have all this good stuff, and then I don't know. I would have thought maybe a year 2 guy would have been a little bit more intimidating. That's all I needed as the viewer. If he was, then man, to me that would have been flawless.
Oh, okay. I can dig that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Still an asshole.
Yeah, but yeah, go see it again. Go see it. Form your own opinion, and if you like it, great. Yes. That's great. You're not hurting my feelings when you tell me. When somebody comes up to me at work or outside of work and says, "I liked it," well, great. That's awesome. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, you should do that. Great. Did you get candy too?
No, I'm not saying that as a sarcastic asshole. I'm like, I don't. Film is subjective. So, like, when somebody does not like it, and you do, then you should be like, okay, well, I got what I wanted as a viewer. Oh, that's great. I'm happy for you. I'm not being sarcastic when I say that. Enjoy it. Not every film is meant for everyone.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think multiple people can watch Schindler's List? That trailer drop. Do you think multiple people can be in the theater, like, going, like, you know what? I can't be in the theater watching people get murdered.
Yeah.
But there's other people that go, I can suck it up because I see it as art. You know,
Yeah.
it's a film about some, you know, group of people's struggles. God, you know, nominate that film for an Oscar. Like film's not for everyone. So see it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, man. You got anything else for the viewers, my brother?
Yeah, we talked about before we came when we went live. I Am Legend 2 has been greenlit.
We need to leave that alone.
He fucking died at the end.
The first one is
And
a
they're calling
masterpiece.
and well, yeah,
Not masterpiece, but I
it was
enjoyed it.
good. I enjoyed it. I did see the makeup test for what they were supposed to look like, and they looked a lot creepier than what we got in the film. It was
Really?
supposed to be, yeah, it was supposed to be people in makeup instead of the CGI shit that we got in the movie. I would really wish they would have went with that.
Oh, okay. Damn.
But anyway, he died at the end of I Am Legend. He pulled the pin and blew up all of them in the basement. And then the alternate ending, which is on like the unrated or extended cut, they take the female vampire
Yeah, I did
mutant,
see that. I
and they
actually saw it on
go
YouTube.
and they let him leave, and he goes up north to find a cure. So I guess they're using that. It's kind of odd he's in there, unless this guy is somehow his son or something like that. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, that's what maybe his son survived. Who
Did he
knows?
have a son in that movie though, or
Oh,
was
wait a
it
minute.
his
Did he have a
daughter?
daughter? I can't remember if
Yeah,
it was a daughter.
I think he had a daughter.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know how
That's
they're gonna
good.
fucking do it. Yeah, but that's what I got.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys.